You already know reunions get messy, but what just happened between Jackie and Chantal at the RHOA reunion has folks across social media completely stunned. Picture this. Everyone thought the drama was winding down, tensions easing up but out. Of nowhere, Jackie dropped a bombshell about grandparents' rights that absolutely no one saw coming. It wasn't just a side comment either. According to reports flying all over the internet, Jackie blindsided Chantal with legal papers backstage, claiming she had filed for official visitation rights to see Chantal's kids. Now, the entire cast was left speechless. Cameras kept rolling and Chantal's reaction. Pure devastation mixed with raw anger. Some sources close to production say Chantal even walked off set in tears, refusing to continue filming, while others mention fans in the live reunion audience gasping audibly when the news broke. The family, once trying to keep things private, is now caught in a very public and painful spotlight. And while we can't confirm all the details just yet, the whispers and rumors swirling around are too loud to ignore. What really went down between Jackie and Chantel, and how did grandparents' rights suddenly become the center of such an explosive reunion moment? Keep watching to find out. As the cameras kept rolling at the RHOA reunion, there was already tension in the air. Everyone could feel it. Jackie sat with her usual calm expression. But there was something different about her this time, like she was holding on to something heavy. Chantal, on the other hand, seemed relaxed, even smiling as she spoke to the other ladies. But no one knew what was about to unfold. According to those present, things took a wild turn right after a commercial break. The hosts had just wrapped up a segment on family struggles. And that's when Jackie stood up slowly, looking directly at Chantal. There was no warning, no lead-up. In front of everyone, Jackie quietly pulled out a manila envelope from under her seat. She didn't say a word at first, just handed it over. Everyone on set froze. It wasn't until Chantal opened the envelope that the mood shifted completely. Her face went pale as she read what was inside. Official court documents. Jackie had filed for grandparents' rights, demanding legal visitation to see Chantal's children. For those who don't know, grandparents' rights cases usually come up when there's a serious rift in the family. And clearly, that's exactly where Jackie and Chantal stood now. Reports say Chantal's hands were shaking as she looked up from the papers. Her voice barely above a whisper when she said, "Are you serious right now?" But Jackie didn't flinch. She just stood there, arms crossed as if she'd been waiting for this moment. Cameras captured the rest of the cast staring in disbelief. Some covered their mouths. Others whispered things like, "No way she really did that." It wasn't just about the legal move, it was about how Jackie chose to reveal it. Fans who've been watching RHOA for years know that private family issues rarely get exposed on camera unless things have really gone too far. And this was definitely one of those times. According to sources close to production, Jackie had planned this for weeks. She knew Chantal wouldn't see it coming, and she wanted to make a statement not just to Chantal, but to everyone watching. What's even more surprising is that earlier in the reunion, Jackie and Chantal had shared a few calm moments together. They weren't best friends, but it looked like they were at least trying to be civil. Now, all that effort was completely shattered in an instant. People backstage say the energy flipped fast. Chantal went from shocked to furious within minutes. She reportedly tossed the papers on the ground and stood up herself, getting right in Jackie's face. "You're really going to do this here? On camera?" she said, voice shaking. Jackie didn't back down, though. She simply replied, "I'm doing what I have to do. I tried to talk to you about this already." That statement added a whole other layer to the drama. Was Jackie telling the truth? Had she tried to settle this privately before bringing it on TV? As the argument heated up, producers had no choice but to step in, but neither woman was ready. To walk away, Chantal kept saying over and over, "This is low. It's the lowest thing you've ever done." And while some of the other cast members tried to calm things down, you could tell from their faces that they weren't sure whose side to take. Some leaned towards Chantal, saying things like, "Families shouldn't handle business like this," while others seemed quietly supportive of Jackie's decision, murmuring, maybe this was the only way she could get Chantal's attention. Meanwhile, fans in the live audience were completely caught off guard. You could hear people gasping, some even shouting out things like, "That's crazy," and "Oh my God." From their seats, social media lit up instantly too. Clips started going viral within minutes, especially the moment where Chantel looked straight into the camera, her eyes glossy with tears, and said, "I trusted you." That line hit viewers hard. Wasn't just about a legal battle anymore. It felt deeply personal, like years of unspoken hurt were finally spilling out for the world to see. Through it all, Jackie kept her composure. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't shed a tear. Some people say that made her look cold. Others say it showed strength. Either way, she made sure the cameras captured exactly what she wanted them to see. According to insiders, Jackie believes that taking legal steps was her last option after feeling pushed away from Chantal and the kids for too long. Whether that's true or just her side of the story, it doesn't change the fact that Chantal felt completely blindsided after the first wave of shouting. Things calmed slightly, but the damage was done. Chantal refused to sit back down on the reunion couch. She stood off to the side, wiping her face, while the host tried to steer the conversation back to lighter topics. But there was no real going back after that moment. Everyone felt it. Producers reportedly even considered cutting the taping early, unsure if Chantel would return to finish the show. What made this situation even heavier is that both Jackie and Chantel have been through public family issues before, but nothing quite like this. Friends close to Chantel later shared that she felt betrayed not just as a cast member, but as a daughter figure in Jackie's life. Over the years, their bond had been complicated, full of ups and downs, but Chantel never expected something as private as grandparents' rights to become public reality TV fodder. In the days following the reunion, fans have been debating online, some saying Jackie had every right to stand up for her place in the family, others calling her move calculated and heartless. Regardless of opinions, one thing is clear: this wasn't a planned storyline cooked up for ratings, according to multiple people close to the situation. Jackie's legal filing is real, and the emotional fallout is already affecting both women's personal lives off camera. As the cameras faded to black, with cast members whispering among themselves and fans still in shock, everyone was left wondering, where does Chantal go from here? Will she fight Jackie in court? Or is there still a chance they can work things out privately, away from the spotlight? As days passed after that explosive RHOA reunion taping, the footage of Jackie handing Chantel those legal papers continued circulating online. Fans couldn't stop replaying Chantel's stunned face. It's the way she clutched those documents with trembling hands. And that one unforgettable moment where she whispered, "I trusted you." It wasn't just RHOA viewers chiming in. Cross-social media platforms, people from outside the Bravo fandom were weighing in, sharing their own stories about family betrayal and legal battles over grandparents' rights. The debate split down the middle. Some believed Jackie had crossed a line by putting family matters on camera like that, while others argued she had been pushed too far and had no choice left. But for Chantal, all of that outside noise didn't matter. What hurt most wasn't just the cameras or the gossip. It was knowing her own family member had blindsided her so publicly, according to people close to Chantal. She spent the night after the reunion completely isolated. Friends tried calling. Her cast members messaged her to check in, but she didn't answer anyone. Insiders say she locked herself away in her hotel room, refusing to speak even to production. One source shared that Chantal was heard crying through the walls, repeating the words, "Why would she do this to me?" over and over again. It's one thing for a castmate or friend to stir up drama on RHOA, but family, that hit different. By the next morning, things had only escalated further. Paparazzi caught Jackie leaving her hotel looking completely unfazed, sunglasses on, head held high. When reporters shouted questions at her like, "Jackie, was it really about the kids? And do you regret blindsiding Chantel like that?" she didn't even flinch. She just kept walking. That image of Jackie so calm while Chantel was reportedly in tears only fueled the public's curiosity. What had really pushed Jackie to take such a bold step? What was going on behind closed doors that viewers hadn't seen? As the reunion episode aired later that week, RHOA fans finally got to watch the entire scene play out for themselves, not just through leaked clips. And watching it unfold with all the production edits made the moment feel even more intense. Slow-motion shots showed Chantel's face as she opened the envelope. Close-ups captured the tension in Jackie's jaw as she stood silently waiting for a response. Even the music they used in the background made it feel like something straight out of a movie rather than reality TV. But what really caught fans off guard were the confessional interviews sprinkled in between. For the first time, viewers heard both women speak directly to the camera about what was really going on in her confessional. Jackie said quietly, "This wasn't about hurting Chantel. I love her, but I love my grandkids too. And I've been kept away from them for too long." Her voice was steady, but there was a flicker of emotion in her eyes, something viewers debated endlessly in comment sections. Was that guilt or just determination? Chantel's confessional, on the other hand, was raw. Wiping away tears, she said, "I always thought Jackie would respect my boundaries. I didn't want things to get this far. I thought we could handle it as family. But now, I don't know if we can come back from this." Those confessional moments made everything feel even more real. Suddenly, it wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a family's private paying broadcast for millions to see. But there was still more to the story that viewers hadn't seen yet. According to behind-the-scenes sources, what happened after the cameras stopped rolling was just as dramatic as what aired. Reportedly, Chantel tried to leave the reunion venue completely, but production convinced her to stay long enough for one final group sit down with Jackie. It wasn't filmed for TV, but insiders say it was an emotional mess. Chantel reportedly broke down, asking Jackie point blank, "Why here? Why now?" And Jackie.com, as ever, repeated, "I needed you to hear me. I needed everyone to hear me." Meanwhile, other cast members were caught in the middle. Some quietly admitted to producers that they'd seen this coming for months, that Jackie and Chantel's relationship had been strained long before the cameras ever picked it up. One source said there were always whispers about Jackie feeling left out, not getting to see the grandkids, but nobody expected her to take it this far. Another insider revealed that just weeks before the reunion, Jackie had been meeting with lawyers, asking questions about grandparents' rights and whether she had a strong case. Outside the show, legal experts started weighing in too. Celebrity, gossip blogs, and talk shows brought on family attorneys to explain what grandparents' rights actually meant. Some pointed out that in many states, grandparents don't automatically have visitation rights unless there's been serious estrangement, or if one parent is deemed unfit. That added another layer to the drama. Jackie's filing was real. Did that mean she believed Chantel wasn't providing the best environment for the kids? Of course, Chantel wasn't about to let that narrative go unanswered. Days after the reunion aired, she posted a long emotional message on social media. In her post, she wrote, "I've always protected my family, even when it hurt me. I never thought I'd have to defend myself against my own, but here we are." She didn't name Jackie directly, but everyone knew who she was talking about. The comments section exploded, with fans sending her messages of support, telling her to stay strong. At the same time, Jackie's own social media was flooded with mixed reactions. Some praised her bravery, while others accused her of exploiting private pain for reality TV clout. But no matter how people felt about it, both women stayed silent after those first few posts. There were no interviews, no press appearances. Outsiders said they were both focusing on their families, trying to figure out next steps. And while some fans hoped they'd reconcile off camera, others believed the damage was already too deep behind all the public noise. Friends close to both Jackie and Chantal said the family was quietly trying to mediate things. Lawyers were involved, but so were counselors. Both sides reportedly agreed to sit down with a family therapist to at least attempt some kind of healing, though no cameras were allowed. Whether that would actually fix anything was still up in the air. What everyone agreed on, though, was that the situation had spiraled beyond what anyone expected. Not just a storyline for TV, but a real-life split between two people who once called each other family, while RHOA viewers kept rewatching that reunion scene. Dissecting every glance, every word, there were still so many unanswered questions swirling around. Would Chantal fight Jackie's legal move in court? Was there a chance Jackie would drop the filing if Chantal agreed to some kind of private arrangement? And perhaps most of all, could their relationship ever recover from something so public, so painful? These were the things fans debated late into the night, scrolling through Twitter threads and Instagram stories, waiting for the next update in a family drama that now felt way too real to ignore. As the days turned into weeks, the silence from both Jackie and Chantal only made fans more restless. Speculation filled the gap where answers should have been. Everyone from bloggers to casual watchers had a theory about what was really happening behind closed doors. But then, without warning, a quiet shift happened. A trusted entertainment outlet published a leaked report claiming that Chantal had officially filed a response to Jackie's grandparents' rights petition. According to that report, Chantal wasn't just sitting back in shock anymore. She was ready to fight back legally and emotionally. The report stated that Chantal's legal team was arguing that Jackie's sudden move wasn't grounded in real estrangement, but was instead motivated by personal feelings of exclusion. They said Chantal had never denied Jackie access to the kids outright, but had set boundaries to protect her own peace and her children's routine. Fans immediately latched onto this angle, debating it heavily. Some felt Chantal had every right to control who saw her children and when. Others argued that Jackie, as a grandmother, deserved to be part of their lives no matter what. As the legal battle slowly unfolded in the background, RHOA producers found themselves in a tricky spot. There were talks about possibly filming follow-up scenes for a reunion special, or even spinning the situation into a mini documentary. But there was hesitation. Some insiders felt it would be too exploitative to push the storyline further, considering how raw the emotions already were. Others felt it would be impossible to ignore, given how deeply invested fans had become.
Okay.
Meanwhile, both Jackie and Chantel remained out of the public eye, avoiding interviews and stepping away from social media entirely, according to insiders close to the family. The real tension wasn't just between Jackie and Chantel anymore. Other family members were now getting involved, taking sides in a feud that seemed to have no clear resolution. Cousins, aunts, even longtime friends were reportedly sending private messages. Some siding with Chantal's need for privacy, others urging her to let Jackie have a place in the kids' lives. One source mentioned a particularly heated family group chat that had basically exploded with arguments and accusations in the days following the reunion airing. What really intensified the drama, though, was an unexpected twist. About 3 weeks after the reunion aired, a private video leaked online. It wasn't official Bravo footage. It looked like something filmed on a phone backstage at the reunion. In the shaky, grainy clip, Jackie and Chantel could be seen having a quiet but clearly tense conversation away from the cameras. In the video, Chantel's voice could be heard saying, "You didn't have to do it like this, Jackie. We could have handled it off camera." And Jackie, in a low tone, responded, "I tried. You wouldn't listen." The leak blew up instantly. Fans dissected every second of that clip, treating it like evidence in a court case. Some felt it proved Jackie had at least attempted to handle things privately before bringing it to the show. Others argued it didn't matter. Publicly dropping legal papers was still out of bounds. The debate only grew louder, sparking think pieces from bloggers and even interviews with family law experts weighing in on daytime talk shows. While all of this played out publicly, Chantel and Jackie were reportedly having real, quiet conversations. Behind closed doors, friends close to them shared that there had been late-night phone calls, emotional texts, and even a private meeting arranged by mutual friends at a quiet location away from cameras and social media. According to those insiders, the first meeting didn't go smoothly. Both women were still holding on to too much hurt, too much pride. Jackie reportedly told Chantel point blank, "I'm not doing this for TV. I'm doing this because I miss my family." And Chantal, through tears, replied, "Family doesn't blindside each other." The meeting ended with no resolution, but it was a start. Both women had finally spoken face to face, not through producers or social media posts, but directly. Fans didn't know about this meeting until much later, but once word got out, it shifted the conversation again. Now, the narrative wasn't just about betrayal. It was about whether healing was possible after so much damage had been done. While Jackie and Chantal worked things out behind the scenes, RHOA continued airing its remaining episodes. Fans couldn't help but notice how different the energy felt. Scenes that would have seemed dramatic before now felt almost small in comparison to the real-life situation happening off-camera. Even cast members seemed subdued in their confessionals, choosing their words carefully when discussing Jackie and Chantel's feud. Around this time, Chantel's closest friends began quietly posting messages of support. One particularly close friend shared a photo of Chantal with her kids, captioned with the words, "Protecting her peace always." It wasn't an official statement, but fans read between the lines. Chantal was focusing on her children, trying to shield them from the chaos while figuring out what came next. Then, just when it seemed like things might finally quiet down, another layer of drama surfaced. A well-known RHOA blogger posted a claim that Jackie had been approached by another network with an offer to tell her side of the story exclusively. According to the blogger, Jackie was considering a sit-down interview where she would lay everything out in her own words, why she filed, what she hoped to achieve, and how she really felt about Chantel. This report stirred up fresh debate. Fans were divided once again. Some felt Jackie deserved the chance to speak freely without Bravo's editing. Others worried it would only reopen wounds that hadn't yet healed. Insiders close to Jackie didn't confirm or deny the report. But the possibility alone was enough to keep everyone talking. Throughout all of this, the underlying question remained the same. Was there any real path forward for Jackie and Chantal? The legal case was still active, but neither side was rushing to escalate it. Instead, things seemed to be moving in slow, cautious steps, private conversations, family mediation, quiet time away from the spotlight. As more and more fans weighed in, a new layer of empathy started to show up in the conversation. People began sharing their own stories of family rifts, estrangements, and painful reunions. For some, Jackie and Chantal's situation felt all too familiar, something they'd lived through themselves. It wasn't just a storyline anymore. It was a reflection of real life. It's messy and complicated and hard to untangle. And while no one knew exactly how things would end, one thing was clear. Both women were carrying heavy emotions that couldn't be easily resolved with a single conversation or a dramatic reunion episode. It would take time, patience, and maybe more heartbreak before any kind of true resolution could happen. Fans kept watching, kept waiting, hoping that behind the cameras and beyond the headlines, Jackie and Chantel might somehow find their way back to each other, not just as castmates, but as family. While social media kept buzzing with theories and opinions, something shifted in Atlanta's energy. Word began spreading that Jackie and Chantal had both quietly returned to their normal routines, but with an undeniable tension hanging over them. Friends and family close to the situation shared that while public statements were still off limits, real-life consequences of the reunion drama were starting to show up in smaller, quieter ways. Fans spotted Chantel out shopping with her kids, keeping her head low, avoiding cameras and questions. Meanwhile, Jackie was seen at a local charity event. But according to those who were there, her usual larger-than-life energy wasn't quite the same. She wasn't posing for pictures like she used to. She wasn't cracking jokes. It was clear both women were moving through something much deeper than just TV drama. In those weeks following the reunion, RHOA's producers reportedly approached both women one last time, hoping to film a follow-up segment to give viewers closure. At first, both Jackie and Chantel said no. They wanted nothing more to do with public cameras right now. But after a lot of back and forth, with the promise that the segment would be handled carefully, not for drama, but for healing, they finally agreed. It wouldn't be filmed at the reunion set or in their homes. Instead, they chose a quiet park outside the city early in the morning before too many people were around. No glam squads, no heavy makeup, just raw honesty. According to insiders, the scene was as real as it gets. Jackie arrived first, sitting on a bench overlooking a small lake. Chantal showed up not long after, wearing simple jeans and a hoodie, her hair tied back. There were no greetings at first, just silence as they both sat looking out over the water. When the cameras finally started rolling, it wasn't a producer asking questions. It was Jackie who broke the silence first, her voice low and calm. "I know I hurt you," she said. "I'm not proud of it." Chantal didn't say anything right away. But then she finally spoke, her voice steady but tired. "You didn't just hurt me, Jackie. You hurt my kids. They saw everything. They asked me why Grandma did that on TV." That moment hit hard for viewers watching the follow-up when it eventually aired. It wasn't about the court papers anymore. It wasn't about RHOA ratings. Response was just as raw. She admitted on camera that she had filed the papers because she felt invisible in Chantel's life, that she missed birthdays, holidays, and simple moments like school pickups and family dinners. She said, "I know I made mistakes. Should have talked to you first. But I felt like if I didn't make a move, I was going to disappear from your world completely." Chantal, wiping away a tear, replied, "I needed boundaries. My kids needed peace. It wasn't about keeping you out. It was about protecting our space." The two women sat in silence again after that, both emotional, both clearly carrying years of unspoken things between them. But the important part, according to those on set, was that they were finally speaking face to face. What made the moment even more powerful was that neither one raised their voice. There were no screaming matches, no accusations, just two people trying to find middle ground in a situation that had spiraled so far beyond what either of them intended. As they talked, viewers could see little moments of understanding flicker across their faces. A soft nod here, a quiet sigh there. It wasn't a perfect resolution, but it was a start. After that scene aired, fans flooded social media with mixed reactions. Some felt relief, saying it was good to see both women finally putting family first. Others felt it wasn't enough, that Jackie's public move had caused too much damage to be undone with one quiet conversation. But either way, people couldn't stop watching. Clips from the park scene went viral within hours, showing up on everything from gossip blogs to mainstream news sites. It became one of those rare RHOA moments that wasn't about fights or fashion or shade, but about something deeper and real. Meanwhile, behind the cameras, both Jackie and Chantal continued navigating the legal side of things. Reports suggested that instead of pursuing the grandparents' rights case through court, they had both agreed to pause proceedings in favor of family mediation. That meant working with counselors and legal experts to create a plan that worked for both sides, giving Jackie time with the grandkids while respecting Chantel's need for boundaries. Friends, close to the family, said the process wasn't easy. There were still disagreements, still moments where things almost fell apart again. But there was also progress. Slowly, bit by bit, both women started showing up for family events together again. Birthdays were no longer divided into two separate parties. Holidays were spent in the same house, even if things still felt a little. Awkward fans following the story noticed subtle signs of healing too. Chantel posted a photo on her Instagram stories, showing her kids playing with Jackie in the background. No captions, no explanations, just the image itself. For many viewers, that quiet post said more than any interview or TV scene ever could. As the months went on, RHOA moved into a new season, shifting its focus to fresh storylines and new cast members. But for those who had followed Jackie and Chantel's journey closely, their story remained one of the most talked about chapters in the show's history. Not because of the drama itself, but because of what it revealed about real life behind reality TV, that even in the middle of fame, cameras, and contracts, families still struggle with things as old as time: love, betrayal, forgiveness, both. Jackie and Chantel kept a lower profile after everything. No big interviews, no tell-all specials, just quiet steps toward rebuilding trust. Fans continued to debate online, sharing their own opinions about who was right or wrong. But deep down, most people agreed on one thing: no matter how it started, it wasn't about sides anymore. It was about two women figuring out how to move forward, even after everything fell apart in front of millions of people. So now that y'all have seen just how deep this story really goes, we want to hear what you think. Was Jackie completely out of line for dropping those legal papers on Chantel right there at the reunion? Or do you feel like she had no other choice left? Is there ever a right way to handle family business in front of the world? Or should some things always stay private, no matter how complicated it gets? Let us know your takedown in the comments, because honestly, opinions are all over the place. With this one, some folks are still standing with Chantel, saying her Either way, the emotions in this story aren't just for TV. They feel too real, too raw, and honestly, situations like this happen in so many families beyond the cameras. If you've ever been through something similar, or even just watched a loved one go through it, drop your experience in the comments too. It really helps other people feel seen. Make sure you hit that like button. If you were just as shocked as we were watching everything unfold, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications, because we're breaking down all the biggest moments from RHOA. From the wildest reunions to the quietest behind-the-scenes tea. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll catch you next time.